Good evening. Just a short video regarding the NFL and ownership and discrimination. I just noticed this a year or two ago with the Seahawks. They had ownership as Jody Allen. It's the official owner is the Paul Allen estate. Until the estate is settled, it's in the hands of the trust. Um, and just reading the sports magazines, it seems like there's more under the ownership name. It seems like there's more women's names. Um, could be wrong, but just going back, I don't save the old magazine, so it could be 10, 15 years ago. It could have been the same thing. Um, it actually, from a financial perspective, it doesn't matter. In a married couple, um, it's actually probably smart from a legal perspective to have it in one name. I've had a friend who's they sued the couple. I don't even believe they were married because they had both names on the ownership of the car. So it's actually not a smart idea from a legal perspective to do that. And if you're thinking that the female or one party could get financially hurt from just having the asset in one person's name, that's not true. At the time of divorce and at the absence of a will, there's a negotiation between the two parties about who gets what, and it's not one party's fault if it's not a fair split there. It's not where just one party tells the other what they get. So it's a agreement that's agreed on both parties. Anyone who thinks that a female, for example, could not get her fair share, and I think you saw this with, I don't know who it was. One of the rich people. I don't want to mention a name because I don't remember exactly who, but like a Bill Gates type or Warren Buffett type. There was a divorce maybe 10 years ago where they thought that she wasn't getting her fair share, which is not the case. Her lawyers are probably very well paid and experienced in this matter. Somebody with that much money, you don't get a cheap attorney. So that's actually not the case. It's first of all, you should have a will. So anyone who doesn't get in gets married without a will, it's kind of asking for trouble a little bit, but that's just not the case. So getting back to our discussion on the NFL case, I actually don't have all that data. It just kind of seems like there's more of that happening. Um, it could be possibly from interference from the league, which would be discrimination. Um, it's certainly not a good way of doing business, discriminating against people. I don't even talk about politics whatsoever at work or investing. So, and I am profitable on both sides there. So it's just a losing strategy no matter what. Um, Once again, the league, maybe they're not doing that. But if they are, that's certainly discrimination. And they mention a lot, high and mighty doing the right thing, and then if they're doing this, they're actually doing what they're preaching against. And you kind of see it a little bit with the companies interfering with the minorities applying to these colleges. And I'm getting confused here out of the Democrats if they're advocating that race should be a factor or not. If race should not be a factor, then they should back off on the college admission cases. If race should be a factor, then they need to back off on the wealth gap. You can't play both cards, and I certainly will not, and I don't even need to. So there you go with that. Um, the ownership title, like we said, it actually does nothing. If you have it in, you know, Stephen Ross is his name, or his, I don't know if he's married or not, if you have it as his wife's name or this or that. It doesn't change the who gets what if they're a divorce. There's either a will, which is already set, or a fair distribution between the two parties that they have to agree to. It's not a forced on either party to go with that agreement. So just having it in Stephen Ross's name, or if he has it in his wife's name, if he is married, is not going to change how much she gets. So there you go. So there's no financial reasoning there where you can say, hey, the women are lagging because the team's certainly not in her name. That has absolutely nothing to do with the amount that a party would get under a divorce. So it just makes the NFL look guilty here, and that takes away from the profitability of the league. Even if they are profitable, whenever you're cheating, it's even if you come in first in the Olympics and you're caught cheating, you lose. So that's where the NFL is wrong here if they are doing this. And yeah, so that kind of wraps it up from the league's perspective. Even if they are profitable, I don't care how many fans they have. If they are doing this sort of behavior, they lose. And it doesn't change whether you believe this or that. It doesn't change the wealth gap on a gender perspective. You can't have any exemption and then ask for the full price. So, like we said, it doesn't help anybody to have that sort of name on the title of the company or the sports franchise, or does it explain a wealth gap? If women wanted to own an NFL team, all they have to do is buy one. So Jody Allen certainly could buy the Seahawks out of the trust, but I doubt she'll have the money to do that.